Hello everyone. So welcome sa subject natin na TTL1 and today we will be discussing Module 3 na yung mga topics and lessons na nasa Module 3 and yung mga activities na gagawin niyo. Okay? Okay, so for today's discussion, we'll be talking about Yale's cone of experience. Okay, we'll also be discussing the TPAC framework and the Assure model. So in the end of this lesson, you will be making three lesson plans for Dale's cone of experience, for the TPAC method, and Assure model. Okay. So before we start our discussion, I would like to ask you and think about how do you learn in the best way? Okay, in what way do you learn the most? So paano ba kayo natututo? In what way? So kapag nagbabasa ba, when you are watching videos, di ba? Or when you are doing it, paano kayo natuto mag-basketball? Sa panonood ba ng tutorial videos, di ba? Or sa paghawak ba ng bola? Or meron ba kayong model na nagtuturo sa inyo? May nagde-demonstrate ba? Okay, so in this lesson, we will be knowing what learning style, diba? In what learning style can a learner learn the most? Yan. So ano ba dapat yung gamitin nating learning style sa classroom, no? Para yung isang learner ay mas mag-retain sa kanya yung kanyang natutunan sa class. Okay, so in this lesson, we will be talking about Dale's cone of experience. Okay, so let's start by learning about Dale's discovery. No? So kung paano niya na-discover yung Dale's cone of experience. Yan, so he has discovered na learners retain more information by what they do as opposed to what is heard, read, or observed. Okay, dahil doon nagkaroon ng improvement yung cone of experience. And then, these days, the term learning by doing has become known and popular and is known as the experiential learning or the action learning. Okay, so before we continue, don't forget to answer the activity, no? So yung gagawin nyo sa activity ay merong graphic organizer kung saan pipili kayo kung anong word yung pwede nyong kunin dito sa cone of experience. If you have chosen exhibits, ano yung definition ng exhibits? What are some examples ng mga exhibits and what is it like? Parang museum ba? Parang ganyan, field trip, okay? Ganun, so pipili kayo ng word dyan or phrase na ilalagay dito. Then definitions, examples, and what is it like? Okay, also don't forget to answer the analysis questions. Ayan. You have 5 questions there. And then distribute, no? Kung passive ba, kung active ba yung band ng cone of learning. They belong to the passive, active learning categories. So kapag passive, alam natin nakaupo lang yung learner. So nanonood siya, nakikinig, ganyan. So yung active, may pagkalaw, they're doing it, okay, in the classroom. So alin doon sa cone of learning experience, yung active and passive. Okay. So, sino nga ba si Edgar Dale na naka-imbento ng cone of experience? Okay, born in 1900s at the dawn of the new millennium, Edgar Dale's work continues to influence educational technologies in the 21st century. So, siya ay pinanganak sa North Dakota farm. He retained the no-nonsense thinking habits and strong work ethic of his Scandinavian forebears throughout his illustrious career. So, meron siyang kakaibang thinking habits, no? And strong work ethic sa kanyang pagpapatuloy sa kanyang career. Okay. So, in 1929, he completed a PhD at the University of Chicago. So, nagkaroon siya ng maraming collaborations, especially sa research. So, one time, ayan. So, marami siyang mga studies na eksperimentuhan. Then, especially yung learning from film with other media. So parang meron silang research na about film and comparing film with other media. Then they'll later express disdain from such studies. So sinabi dun na parang tinanong siya kung bakit at nag-ayaw siya dun sa study na yun. So yung study na comparing film kung saan mas comparing kung saan mas nagle-learn yung learners, no, from film or media. So sinabi niya na nababother daw siya. Kasi obvious naman na yung mas natututo yung learners sa media, no, kaysa naman sa film. So parang bago pa ang gawin yung studies niya, alam niya na meron na siyang naiisip na idea. Okay, so this is the cone of learning by Dale. So dyan nakuha, it is also related to Confucius. Sinabi niya na, I see and I forget. I hear and I remember. And I do and I understand. So after 2 weeks, we tend to remember of 10%. Napakaliit. 10% of what we read. 20% of what we hear, yung mga hearing words. 30% of what we see. 50% of what we see and hear, kung ginamit natin yung sense of hearing natin and sense of sight. 70% of what we say, yung mga sinabi natin. And kapag kinumbay natin yung doing and saying is 90%. Yan. So, example niyan ay doing a dramatic presentation, simulating the real experience, doing the real thing. Yan yung pinakamalaki na percentage ng learning. Okay. Edgar Dale's cone of experience gives the following interpretation. Number 1. The lower levels of the cone involve the student as a participant and encourage active learning. So hindi lang sila observant, talaga nagpa-participate sila and merong nangyayari na active learning. Pictures are remembered better than verbal prepositions. So yung mga pictures pala ay mas nakakabigay ng retention sa learning, no, kaysa sa mga verbal, sa mga naririnig lang. The upper levels of the cone need more instructional support than the lower levels. Abstractness increases as we go up to the cone and concreteness increases as we go down the cone. So yun, yung abstractness sa taas ng cone, so ito yun. Yan, so mas mataas yung abstractness dyan. Then concreteness naman dito sa mga lower part of the cone. Yan. Okay, so according to Dale's research, the least effective method at the top involves learning from information presented through verbal symbols. Yan. Example niyan ay yung listening to spoken words. The most effective methods at the bottom involves direct, purposeful experience. So yan yung mga reality, more on everyday life. Direct, purposeful experience. So yung iconic experience ay yung learning through observation, ito yun. And then abstractions, yan yung visual and verbal symbols. Okay, so what are these bands of experiences in Dale's cone of experience? So una, we have the direct, purposeful experience. Yan. So yan yung mga skills that we gained in real life. So meron tayong involvement. Merong involvement na nangyayari sa learner. Example dito ay preparing their meals, making a PowerPoint presentation, delivering a speech, performing experiments, or making their furniture. So talagang gumagalaw. They're doing it. So that is the direct, purposeful experience. Next, we have the contrived experiences. Ayan. When the real thing cannot be accurately observed, artificial stimuli can be given as a working model. Diyan na natin pinapalitan yung mga bagay ng model, specimen. For examples, niyan ay we have the model, the mock-up, the specimen. Ayan. So yung solar system, so hindi naman kasi natin kayang dalhin yung mga learners sa outer space. So we're doing a mock-up ng solar system. So that is an example of contrived experience. Okay. Next one, we have the dramatized experience. Okay, dito na yung active participation ng mga learners. So, through role-playing. Yan, mga drama, puppet show. Okay, there are different kinds of play and puppet show. You can read it in our module, no? So, merong mime, tableau, dialogues, yan. Ginagawa nilang dialogues in English subjects or Filipino subjects. Spot, spontaneous acting, and mock conventions. Yan yung dramatized experiences. Next, we have here demonstrations. Ito, bagay na bagay ito sa mga PE majors. No? Ito yung students can watch how certain things are done. Talagang dinademonstrate ni teacher kung paano yung tamang kamay, paano yung tamang paa, di ba? Paano yung tamang posture, position, yan. So, example natin ay teacher in physical education shows the class how to dance the tango. So, demonstration. Number 5, we have here the study trips, yung mga field trips. Yan. So, nagkakaroon sila ng experience outside the daily classroom. So, ang ano na to, ang band na to ay this is an organized situation. So, meaning, bago pa man lang mangyari ay meron ka ng plan. Yan, kung saan pupunta, kung anong mga dadalhin, yan, kung anong dapat ilusin ng mga bata, ng mga learners, no? Yan yung study trips. Next, ito yung mga sample title na pwede natin gawin sa ating mga study trips. If we have a science field trip, science museum trip, living history field trip, historical reenactment trip. Yan. So, kung biology field trip, we have the eco adventure trip. Yeah. So those are example title for your study trips. Okay, next we have the exhibits. Yeah. So nagkakaroon ng concrete representation ng mga bagay kapag dinadala natin yung learners sa isang exhibit. Yan, nakikita nila yung mga photographs, maps, mga sculptures sa exhibits. So next, we have the television and motion pictures. Bagay na to sa kapag meron tayong assessment or assessment na movie review, to write a movie review, no? So by this, they are recreating the history of the past. Parang nafe-feel nila na nandun din sila sa lugar na yun. Okay? Number 8, still pictures, recordings, and radio. Ayan. So mga pictures, no, na hindi gumagalaw, recordings that they can hear. So dito yung pumapasok na yung kanilang senses, na seeing and hearing ang kanilang ginagamit. And then we have number 9, the visual symbols. Yan yung mga maps, charts, diagrams. Those are examples of visual symbols. So nagkakaroon na sila ng pag-interpret, no? Dito na sila natututong mag-interpret ng mga bagay. So, nade-describe na nila kung ano yung association ng mga bagay na nakikita nila sa isang visual symbol. Okay, and lastly, we have the verbal symbols. Yan, yung words and phrases that we are speaking, those are verbal symbols. Okay? So that's it for the cone of experience. Okay, so remember 10% of what we read, 20% of what we hear, 30% of what we see, and 50% of what we see and hear, 70% of what we say, and 90% of what we say and do. Yan yung tend to remember ng isang learner ayon sa cone of experience ni. Okay, don't forget to make your own lesson plan. Simple lesson plan lang yan. May subject, may objectives, 3 or 2 objectives, no? Kung yung activities na ipapagawa nyo sa learners nyo that are applying the lower parts, no, ng ating cone of experience. Yan. So yun yung papagawa nyo. So mostly ay the contrived learning, the direct purposeful learning, no? And then an assignment na syempre applying pa rin yung sa cone of experience. Okay, so let us move to the next part of our lesson, which is the TPAC method, or the technological pedagogical content knowledge. Okay, of course, there are three words na kailangan nating alamin kanilang meaning. Of course, alam niyo ng technology. No? So, pedagogical, yung applying ng process and strategy sa teaching. Content, the content of what the teacher will be teaching. No? So, yan yung alamin natin on how we could apply these three sa teaching. Okay. So, of course, this framework is useful for researchers working to explain the convergence of learning and teaching technologies. Yan, so bagay na bagay din to sa subject natin na technology for teaching and learning. So this method is a system tailored to the dynamic interactions of teacher, knowledge of content. For the CK, yan, alamin natin mamaya yung CK, the pedagogy and technology. Okay, so this is the framework that has been developed about the TPAC. No? We have the technological knowledge, pedagogical knowledge, and the content knowledge. So, dahil dyan nagkakaroon sila ng relatedness dahil sa model na ito. Pinapakita yung relatedness ng bawat knowledge to be able to form the TPAC framework, TPAC method. Okay, so first let us define what is technology knowledge. And so it is about recognition of the education, of the technology in education. So kung paano ba siya nakakatulong sa pagpapa-improve ng education, or kung it can be a hindrance sa learning. At kung paano makakapag-adjust sa emerging technology offerings. Okay. Number 2, we have the content knowledge. Ayun na yung mga principles, the ideas, the facts, tungkol sa isang subject matter. Ayun na yung knowledge ng isang teacher about the presentation, kung paano niya i-present yung ideas and facts about a certain subject matter. Okay, number 3, we have the pedagogical knowledge. Ayan na yung awareness ng isang teacher about sa teaching strategies, kung saan mas gagana. No? So, dito na papasok yung paggawa ng lesson plan, and then yung assessment na ginagawa niya para malaman kung anong strategy, techniques mas effective. Okay, next we have, ito yung pinagsama na content and pedagogy, the pedagogical content knowledge. Yan, so dito na pumapasok yung strategy kung paano mas i-incorporate sa learner yung isang topic, yung isang idea. Yan na pumapasok yung paggawa ng mga curriculum, mga activities to improve more the learning and teaching process. Okay, next we have the technological content knowledge. Ayan, so dito na yung paggamit ng technology, the education technology, to deliver the content in the best way possible. So gumagamit na tayo dito ng educational technology tools na suited for particular learners and particular subject matters. Next, that technological pedagogical knowledge. Ayan, so ito na yung knowledge ng various technology, kung ano ba yung dapat gamitin na technology, no, to be able to use in the classroom to improve teaching and learning experiences, no, kung paano na i-apply yung mga resources sa pag-create ng lesson sa pamamagitan ng technology. And lastly, we have, of course, yung pag-apply na ng lahat, the technological, pedagogical content knowledge, the TPAC. Okay, dito na yung applying all, no, in any content area. Yan. So focus on the knowledge required by teachers for integrating technology into the teaching in any content area. So dito na yung pumapasok yung TPAC method, yung integrating natin ng technology in any subject matter. Of course, huwag niyong kalimutan yung paggawa ng lesson plan. No? So, in-highlight dyan sa TPAC method yung pag-integrate ng technology. So, dun sa activities na gagawin nyo, sasabihin nyo kung anong technology yung ginamit nyo. No? Sa pagbibigay ng activities, sa mga ipapagawa sa mga learners. Ayan. So, yun yung pinaka-highlight ng TPAC model and framework. Next, we have, of course, the Assure model. Yan. So, galing siya sa ADDIE model. No? In-improve siya galing sa ADDIE model. Okay? So, the Assure model uses a 6-step process to effectively integrate the use of technology and media into lessons to improve student learning. Yan. So, as a future teacher, this model is intended to help you viably coordinate media innovation into your lessons or instructions. Okay, so ano ba yung 6 steps ng Assure model? We have first, analyze the learners. State your objectives as select the media and materials, utilize media and materials, require learner participation, and evaluate and revise. So yan yung Assure model. Analyze, state, select, utilize, require, and evaluate. Okay, so the Assure model is an instructional framework or rule that instructors can use to create lesson plans, which coordinate the utilization of innovation of technology and media. Yan. So of course, maliban sa steps na gagawin, nandyan pa rin yung innovation and utilization of technology and media sa ating lesson. So isa-isahin natin yung 6 process ng Assure model. So first thing na ilalagay natin doon sa ating lesson plan ay merong analyze the learner. Okay? Analyze students' general characteristics, kung saan ba, anong klaseng learner ba sila? Are they tactile learners? No? Pag sinabi nating tactile, sa mga touching, yan, they are more touching, or athletic ba sila? Or they are more spatial. Pag sinabi ng spatial learner ay sa mga drawing yan. Gusto nila mag-drawing, illustrations and pictures. Yan. Kung anong level nila. So, are they in the top section? So, we are going to create an imaginary classroom, imaginary students natin to be able to write our lesson plan. State the objectives, yan, kung anong audience. Are they grade 11 UMS, no? Grade 12 STEM, yan. Behavior, are they going to demonstrate the dance steps, ganyan. So, ilalagay mo siya sa objectives in conditions in a 1 hour, no? In a given 1 hour period. Yan. Next, of course, we will be choosing an appropriate media format and selecting, modifying, or designing the specific materials. Kung ano ba yung method na gagamitin mo. Anong instruction, anong media. Kung papanoorin mo ba sila, ipapanood mo sa kanila yung video tutorial, or are they going to listen, or gamit pa sila ng cellphone to call or dialogues, di ba? Next, utilize media and materials. Yeah. So, of course, dapat well stated siya yung process niya. Una-una, preview the materials. Practice the presentation. Prepare a good environment. Kung gagawin mas sa team classroom or sa labas, present the material and provide learning experience. Next, require learner participation. Of course, kung magkakaroon ba ng discussion, hands-on activities, diba? Kung magkakaroon brainstorming, yan, sabihin nyo sa lesson plan nyo. And evaluate the impact of your teaching on student learning. Of course, kung meron bang criteria, rubrics na gagamitin sa pag-evaluate. So, don't forget to make your simple lesson plan, the debug lesson plan, and a sure lesson plan. Okay. So after yung ano yung topic, makakagawa kayo ng topic, diretso na kayo sa objectives. Okay? Pwede nyo nang skip yung mga competency. No? So diretso na agad sa objectives. Yung mga competency ay huwag nyo nang ilagay sa lesson plan. Okay? So that's all, and let's go and study. Bye.